Mike Arrington with TechCrunch. I'm here with RedBeacon, winner of TechCrunch 50 last year. They have some big news. Ethan, hello.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Hey, good. And I'm also here with Raj Kapoor. He's a managing director at Mayfield. His reason for being here will become relevant in a couple of seconds, I think. Ethan, what's the big news?
Big news is RedBeacon is closing its Series A, the first outside investment from both Mayfield and from Venrock.
All right. How much? Had you raised any money until now?
No, we hadn't raised even one dime.
Okay. Did you spend the $50,000 prize that
we spent the $50,000. That didn't take too long.
Okay.
And we each put in $50,000, so it was a total of $200K. And once we burned through that, we realized it was time to raise some formal VC.
It's generally considered poor form to actually cash that check. It's more of a symbolic thing.
Well, it's still in our office. Don't worry. The bank wouldn't take it.
Also, I'm wearing this yellow rain jacket because we didn't coordinate our shirts very well today. We had exactly the same color shirt on. So anyway.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, I guess so. So you've raised, you said how much? 7.5?
So 7.4.
7.4.
Right.
And what was valuation?
Can't say. Unless Raj decides he wants to break the confidentiality agreement, it's not going to be me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it was a good valuation.
And is Raj?
Truthfully, one of the great things.
It was a good valuation.
Yeah, I think one of
the
the
not a normal valuation for an A round. It was something higher than that.
Yeah, I think one of the nice things about waiting to actually try to build the product and to show that it works is it allowed us to probably get a better valuation than if we raised money, the day after TC50.
Okay. Did you choose your venture capitalist based only on valuation, whoever paid the most, or was there some sort of social fit as well?
Actually, we did not take the highest valuation.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. Who was that? Who offered the highest?
Good questions.
Sequoia, of course.
I'd like to know that too.
Okay.
No. Truthfully, what we looked at is we wanted to find a VC who really understood the local space. And so Raj has great experience on the consumer side as the kind of founder, one of the co-founders and the CEO of Snapfish. And then Brian, who can't be here today, from Venrock, was a senior product manager of Quicken and Quicken Online. So he really understood kind of the small business side. Yep. So that was important. And then we wanted firms that had good reputations in the entrepreneur community. Basically entrepreneur friendly, very helpful, and and of course we had to find people that we want to sit on a board with for the next several years of our lives.
Did Brian and Raj both join the board, or?
Yeah, they're both on the board.
Is there a lead of the round or co-lead?
There is a lead. So Mayfield's actually formally the lead, but the board seats are equal, of course.
And how much of the 7.5 did you put in?
We did a little bit over half of that.
You did 4, I assume, then.
Roughly.
So, okay. Why is that? That doesn't seem like it'd be confidential.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember the exact numbers.
Okay.
It was roughly.
But your whole goal here is to not answer any questions whatsoever. Okay, so Ethan, tell us a little bit. I mean, we'll have a post around this. We'll point people to the site. But tell us a little bit about where you are with the company from a product perspective and users.
Sure. So I think that the business is really doing well in the Bay Area in the sense that there's several thousand service providers here, who love the business and providing services to
You've only
our
launched
consumers.
in the Bay Area?
Yeah, officially we're only in the Bay Area still.
And what are people using it for? To get plumbers and?
It's tremendously varied, but I mean, the most common things are household services like maids, handymen, personal trainers, plumbers, that kind of thing. But I mean, you get really long tail requests all the time. We just had someone a few days ago come in and they said, I want a photographer to follow me over the Golden Gate Bridge while I secretly propose to my girlfriend in the middle. So you get some really cool things like that.
And Raj, I mean, are you seeing traction in the business? I don't know if they have enough behind them now. They've built it out. They've launched it in one geographic area. Are you seeing something that you like here?
Yeah.
Or is it...
Well, I think, first of all, there's a couple elements that go into any investment, as you know. There's the market opportunity, which I think everyone understands that already. The team is obviously a big portion of it. We spent a lot of time with the team. We think they've done a great job. They've got great backgrounds for this. Yeah. And then from a traction perspective, the product is actually quite far along, especially given the limited investment that they put into the company.
Just $200,000, that's all you spent?
Yeah, that's all we spent.
Yeah. And if you look at things like, we went down to the details of the conversion funnels and the improvements that they have on all the key metrics in the Bay Area, the critical mass that they were able to achieve with their model, which is unique. It doesn't require that you have to have every business in the directory. It's just the ones that really matter.
Enough that the user feels comfortable they've found something.
To make a choice, exactly.
And then you charge, how do you charge? You charge per?
So we have actually 2 models now, so this is new. Okay. So we have the 10% commission. If they can actually quote a price, let's say it's for a house cleaning, maybe say it's $100, we'll charge 10%.
You bill them basically.
We bill them. We have their credit, the service provider's credit cards are on file.
Yeah.
So
they'd have to come to you and say, oh, well, this didn't work out, or the person never.
Yeah, if they cancel or if something happens,
Yeah.
we'll refund the money.
Okay.
But the second thing that we just launched a few weeks ago is now they can do on-site estimates. So we were finding that for some of these really huge jobs, like a $40,000, $50,000 general contractor job,
Yeah.
it was really hard to quote remotely unless you actually get there and talk with the consumer and see the property.
Yeah.
So now we'll charge a flat fee for up to 3 service providers to come on-site to give an on-site estimate.
And that flat fee, is it based on what kind of
It's
service?
Exactly. It's based on the service.
What's an example of a flat fee for a certain
Okay,
service?
so you might say that I need like a attorney to I got a DUI, and so that might be a $20 consultation.
Is
fee.
it actually? Oh, for the attorney would charge.
The attorney pays us $20.
Okay, and that's an actual fee.
Yeah, and that's an actual fee, and the consumer might want to interview 3 people, right? Because it's an important decision.
You've made $60.
Right, so we'll make $60.
Okay.
But some of the
and the service providers seem happy with that model.
Yeah, they seem pretty happy because it's really interesting. It's still pay for performance. They only have to pay if a consumer says, I've seen their profile, the ratings and reviews, the appointment time looks good, I want to go see this person and meet with them.
Yeah.
So it's like a super qualified lead. It's like way beyond cost per click qualified.
Yep. And how many transactions are you seeing in the system now?
It's a lot. Yeah, it's going up. It's probably about triple what it was just a few months ago.
What was it a few months ago?
I can't
mean,
say.
what are we talking here? Dozens a day, 4 a day, 6,000 a day?
Yeah, we can't say, but it's we're happy with the growth. And one of the reasons why we're actually raising money is because we have some huge partnerships which we're going to announce to increase the distribution. Some of which will, we already have one in trial with a kind of a Fortune 200 company. Pretty cool.
For their website?
It's basically what we do is we distribute RedBeacon, just like the YouTube player gets distributed on blogs and websites, and it's sort of like an embedded model where a consumer might search for something like, I'm looking for a plumber in Palo Alto, right? And then RedBeacon comes up and says, would you like to get competitive price quotes from local plumbers? And then the person's like, sure, and it goes, RedBeacon powers the whole thing, and then we do a rev share back.
Okay, great. How many employees do you have now?
We actually only have 6 employees.
And I assume you're hiring up now?
Yeah, so that's actually one of the reasons why we had to raise money is because as we start to really ramp up our operations, our kind of our geographic footprint, we needed more software engineers, we need UI designers, we need more marketing people, and we need some people to support the partnerships we're doing.
You really waited a long time to raise money. So, I mean, generally speaking, I mean, the flood of attention you got after TechCrunch 50,
right?
Which, by the way, I mean, we take some credit for that, but also you were completely secret until then, so you couldn't have gotten any attention until then.
Sure.
But you got a lot of attention. I know that right away you started getting attention from VCs because I was introducing you. They were coming to me to meet you.
Sure.
And it must have taken some fortitude to sort of just to hold off. And
yeah, I think that
it's almost a year later now.
One of the rules of TechCrunch 50, which you and Jason set, is that we're not allowed to launch at all before the day of TechCrunch 50. And so we really felt like we'd love to raise a lot of money, but we had no idea how people would be using the product. And as it turns out, we'd made all kinds of mistakes in our assumptions, as I think all startups do. Yeah. And so we needed about 9 months.
Anyone that didn't is lying.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so there was features that were missing, there were bugs, there were things that were stopping transactions, and our conversions of when a request comes in all the way to a scheduled job were too low. And so to take several $1 million and try to scale that model up would have been a huge mistake and would have wasted a lot of time and money. So what we said is, let's not put the pressure on ourselves today. Let's actually get the data. Let's continue to iterate. And when the conversions are something that we'd be proud of scaling, that's when we'll go to the VCs.
You feel good about the conversions. You said you feel okay. So that signals something good is happening here. That there's some there. Is the money? Are you going to start spending money on marketing? Or are you really going to focus on partnerships?
No, it's true. We think that because as much as we love the TechCrunch community, this is really a mass market kind of a product. So we need to reach people all over, and we need to reach people. The early adopters are great, and that helps a lot. But I think we need to start reaching out into kind of the more mass market through some of the partnerships and targeted promotions. So we will.
But you will spend money on.
We will be spending money on that.
Is that on Google? You think on Facebook maybe on what?
We're going to actually try a number of things. So there's going to be that's kind of the advertising, the online advertising. We're doing some PR, the partnerships, and then. Just actually some other kind of more grassroots type things, in the markets, in the cities that we go in. One of the challenges, I think, with local businesses that some other websites don't face is you have to get awareness and trial in each city you go into, right? So you can't just open up your doors and suddenly, like, people in Argentina are using your site. It's like, no, now we're going into Denver, now we're going into Phoenix. And each place, you almost have to start from scratch with those users. Yeah. And so one of the reasons why we wanted to wait and then raise a big round, which is a little bit of a different model, as you were saying, is because we wanted more runway to give us some time to go get the momentum in a critical mass of cities, call it the top 40 cities in the US, which make up the majority of the kind of population.
What's next to launch?
That's a good question. It's not fully decided yet. We're going through that analysis right now, but there's some partnerships which will probably influence our decision as to which cities we go into.
Great.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say, like why you like the company?
Absolutely.
All the numbers.
First of all, the local services opportunity. The interesting thing about this has been, you probably know, it's been tried for many, many times, many years.
Yellow Pages still work pretty well sometimes.
Yellow Pages, there's Respond.com that existed in the past. There's been a lot of attempts, but
Yelp is becoming relevant in this
Yelp
space.
and things like Yelp, for example, and Google, of course, are helping in the fact that almost every local business now in the U.S. is aware of online and is marketing online, is putting their digital identity online. So we believe that there's two big parts to this equation. One is the consumer piece and one's the local services. The time is absolutely right for the local services piece that's there. And the challenge for the company, which we're going to help do, is how do you get the big critical mass of consumers to be using the service?
One of the things that, and I'll just share one stat which hasn't been publicly shared before, is that about 1/2 of our users, our consumers who use the site, use it again within a month. And so I think that repeat rate, especially for something that's not like YouTube where you just need daily entertainment, is pretty phenomenal. And my guess is that it must have been something very similar like with Expedia, where the first time someone books online like their travel reservation, they're a little scared, but they're like, wow, this is actually way better than going to a travel agent or calling up 6 airlines and getting price schedules, right? And so I think that gives me a lot of confidence that if we can generate trial throughout the country as we scale up into new markets and we really reach the mass market, then this business will be very successful.
Great. Who do you want to hire? Engineers?
Yeah, we need front-end, back-end engineers, Python especially. We need UI designers, and we're actually looking for some great marketing people.
What kind of perks do you offer? You bring in lunch every day?
That's a good question.
You have soft drinks for that, right?
One of the things we're playing with is we want to have kind of an employee of maybe initially the month, but then we have more employees, employee of the week, and they can use RedBeacon for any service they want, and the company will pay for it. We thought that would be unique.
Yeah, great. So no soft drinks, though?
No, of course. We're going to provide, we're getting a brand new office, which is going to look really nice, food, drinks.
Engineers, they're they're princesses, right? You got to treat them,
well,
like a princess.
As long as they work hard and they produce, I'm happy to treat them however they want to.
Okay, all right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks
so much.